And the idea that a new generation is going to watch my movies and learning and makes me feel so like everything I do, I have to do at the highest level for me of integrity, because it is a body of work that continually will be seen and seen again.
M. Night, sir.
Hi.
I saw your movie yesterday at the screening room. Edge of my seat, terrified, in like a sense of just foreboding dread.
Man, I'm sorry.
I knew what I was getting into. Tell me a little bit about there's this matter of faith and binary belief and choices, and the audience and the characters are presented with these. It's either this or that, and I'm just dancing around all the spoilers that I would love to dive into.
I know you're doing such a great job of allowing the audience to experience what you experience. Yeah, it was such a beautiful kind of ratcheting of the tension, squeezing every single bit of air out of it. That was the intention. I was like, I'm going to write the tightest screenplay. We're going to shoot it in a way that it's just relentless for you guys, and thereby the emotions are just leaping. It's getting more and more, dangerous emotionally and physically each step of the way. There's a fascinating thing which we could talk about, and maybe over drinks one day we could talk about it, how what you think of everyone is kind of the flip, and you sometimes you'll believe in them, sometimes you won't. Sometimes the person you absolutely believe, you suddenly have a doubt habout. Wait a minute, did they hit their head and did they see something, or did they not see them? Did the person I believe them, but now I hear them whispering, and now I'm not believing them. All these doubt and moving back and forth. I saw it a lot as a jury movie, really, adjudicating over the fate of humanity.
The set is incredible. That lived-in cabin where it's already so claustrophobic, and then you put the largest man, Dave Batista, in there. Every shot of him feels like a close-up because that's just how large he is, but you get in there, you show every line on his face, and he's a beautiful man.
Yes. Tell
me a little bit about casting him in particular, but also casting to that room.
There was a moment where I thought, this is an impossible role. A giant who can emote and do 30 pages of monologues. This doesn't exist. This person doesn't exist. And then I was like, wait a minute. What about that guy in Blade Runner 2049? I don't know much about wrestling, so it wasn't like I had that in my head. And probably if I did, I might have been blinded to the fact that this person was an amazing actor. But I was like, that guy was incredible. He was a giant and all. So they said his name was Dave Batista, and so I reached out, and then Dave reached out, and then we met. And when I spoke to him, I found a human being who was ready to start over again, take away all the success that he had, and unlearn it, and then start over, and have an appreciation for. He just wanted to be proud of himself, and I was like, I'm down, brother. Let's do it the right way from beginning to end. And he's like, I don't know if I can do this, and I go, but I do. I know you can do this. So I've never wavered for a second on that front.
It's perfect because he has that look about him that makes people think one way, and then you talk to him or hear him talk in the movie, and you think something completely different.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, just for you, no matter how many movies you make, no matter what you do with your career, there's going to be a whole generation that's going to be like, he's the guy with the twist endings. And then even though you've grown so far beyond that and you've done such incredible work, which is not to belittle your earlier work, of course.
No, of course.
But tell me about reconciling the grand notion of you to the wider public who might not even watch the movies and the art that you make.
It's been beautiful. I've been around long enough now because I started when I was 21. So it's so wild because my daughter now is going to start her career at 23 in filmmaking. I'm like, wow, what a journey you're about to go on. And of course, her journey is tied to mine in some way, so it's a different one. But I was in Europe, and we started to have screenings of the movie, and the influencers there all over the world would come over and meet me, and they would be shaking, and they'd come over, and they'd say, they're like 19 or 21, and they're meeting me, and they're like, I love this. And I went back and watched one of your movies called Signs. And they're just like learning them they weren't even born. You know, some of them weren't even born. And like, I saw this movie you did, an old movie called Signs. And it's so beautiful. Or they say, I saw a really old movie, Unbreakable. And I watched it, and they were so taken with this and the idea that a new generation is going to watch my movies and learning, and it makes me feel so like everything I do, I have to do at the highest level for me of an integrity, because it is a body of work that continually will be seen and seen again.
Speaking of that, that's the one. Science is the one that made me hide under my covers as a young tween. Thank you so much for your time and for your work.
Thank you,
sir. And it's whatever you do next, I'm going to be there too.
Oh, that's so touching. I will work extremely hard for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.